What's up, everybody? Doing a steering fluid flush on our 2006 Dakota. Back when I was working on surfboards in California, this thing ran low on steering fluid, and my mom and sister took it to one of the parts stores, and they put their shop brand generic fluid in there. And shortly thereafter, the steering pump was just making horrid noise. Cause or correlation? I don't know. But I know it calls for ATF +4, and don't go mixing some generic steering fluid with any stuff, any kind of transmission fluid that a steering system might call for. My Ford Focus calls for Mercon, so you can put Mercon 5, same as the transmission, but bad news. Anyway, here's what it is now. So I'm going to put this Rizlone stuff in there. I put a little bit already, and it seemed to really help. So it's hard with the hard steering and stuff, so... And it helped with the leaks too. It really, man, this stuff worked. I put some Hapco stop leak in there. Same stuff as like Blue Devil, ATP, I believe, or AT Reseal, whatever that stuff is. Works pretty good. It's just got additives in there. It's basically like thick power steering fluid. I mean, thick transmission fluid. But here, this is what you got to do. I don't know if you can see. Let me get you under the vehicle. I'll show you. And you got to work quick doing these, detaching these lines and stuff. You got to work fast, or else you're going to have a heck of a mess. Here, I'll show you from under the vehicle. All right, here we go. You can see there. You can see where I got my clear tubing in the return line. Oops. See, that's why I got that cinched off. That's what I use for a plug. You can use vacuum line plugs too. However, you got to get it going quick. See, now I got a bit of a leak from somewhere. Tiny bit of a leak. I got to get my oil pan under here. I failed to do that. I thought I was fast enough. But you plug that port, and then you put your clear tubing in the return line that comes from the steering rack. And you got to work fast, or else you're going to make a huge mess and lose all your fluid. Especially when you're hooking it back up. When you're hooking it back up, you got to work quick. It's not easy, but fortunately my Focus is easier, way easier. And I've been doing this change of fluids like this, using a vacuum pump ever since my dad first started teaching me 35 years ago, working where he worked at an oil recycle facility, maintaining the vehicles and stuff. That was my first job that he forced me how to do. So here, let's get some pump action going, and you'll see. I'm not going to show, see the fluid moving. I'm not going to show the hooking up process because I need two hands and I got to work fast. However you figure that out. But using this pump, I like it because it's a lot easier than jacking it up, turning the wheel side to side and stuff. And the thing about, if you don't have the car running, the steering pump isn't moving. And it takes, I've watched some videos, it looks like more work than it's worth to me. So I do it like this. I change my brake fluid. Everybody's seen the brake fluid change with these vacuum pumps. But yeah, these shucks. These used to be $300-400 35 years ago. Now they're $30-40. And that's that. That fluid is pretty dirty. Let me show you the comparison. So there, you can see that. And this fluid, shucks, it's only 6-8 months old. I think I did it one time back in November last year. But that's the gist of it. Pretty straightforward. I like using this pump. Oh, get you a set of these guys too. This pulled the line off so easy. These guys. Get you a set of these, man. They're priceless. They're worth their weight in gold. So I think I paid $80, or maybe it was a little more back then, 120. But man. Especially this long reach one. This gets way down into the engine bay. These guys are priceless. Anyway, that's that. Keep your reservoir full until your stuff runs clean. That's how you flush a power steering system. Take care, everybody. Peace. Aloha.